fighters in MMA as accomplished as Gegard Mousasi. Over a career spanning 2 decades, multiple promotions, and various weight classes, Mousasi has amassed 48 victories, an astounding 6 world titles, and is widely regarded as one of the greatest mixed martial artists in the history of the sport. With all he's achieved, the hunger to stay on top continues to grow, always ready for the next man up.
I feel like I'm in my peak and still got great fights to give. And everyone wants to fight for the belt, so I know they're gunning for me, but if I fight him, I'm no doubt that I'm going to win.
Tonight's challenger, Austin Vanderford. Widely known for his famous wife, it's his perfect 11-0 record that speaks for itself and has propelled him to the #1 contender spot and a chance at glory.
Everyone knows my wife, Paige, and a lot of people like to make fun of me riding her coattail and saying this or that, but I've been at the top at every athletic endeavor that I've had. When you look at the division, obviously the king right now is Gegard Mousasi, and I'm excited to go out and take that spot from him.
While Vanderford looks to send seismic shockwaves through the sport, Mousasi plans to defend his world title and continue to reign supreme at 185. The middleweight belt is on the line in our main event. Dublin, Ireland, on the banks of the River Liffey and the streets of the world-famous Temple Bar. A ferocious wind has been blowing all week and the temperature has dropped below freezing. But here at the 3 Arena in the heart of the city, we're about to crank up the heat as Bellator MMA brings you a world title matchup of monumental proportions. Tonight we will bear witness to a living legend still in his prime, a conqueror of 11 world champions and one of the very few to win a phenomenal 6 world titles. Gegard Mousasi, the 2-time Bellator middleweight world champion, has flown in from the Netherlands to defend the 185-pound belt against one of the fastest rising stars in the sport and the clear-cut #1 contender, the undefeated Austin Vanderford. Well, hello and welcome to Dublin. We truly are amongst MMA royalty tonight. And speaking of which, the 2-time champion, Josh Thompson, is here tonight. Good to see you, buddy.
Nice to see you, Dublin, Ireland. We have arrived, and so has the crowd.
Look at this, boy.
This is electric. Look at this. I love it. I love it.
He's been singing Irish Eyes Are Smiling all week. I had to veto the leprechaun costume. All right, I know you're excited for this one. It's an obvious question. When you heard the matchup was announced, how were you feeling?
Explosive. I thought this was going to be an explosive matchup. I knew it was coming. You have Austin Vanderford, 11-0, undefeated. Young, though, still in the sport at 11-0. I know it seems like, no, he's not young, but yes, he is. The fact is, 11-0, he's never faced someone like Gegard Mousasi.
And I mentioned just some of his many, many accolades. What does a legend like Gegard Mousasi represent to you in all he's achieved?
Well, I've known Gegard for about 15 years now, and he represents so much in this sport. There's no way, if someone was to look me in the face and tell me he is not one of the best fighters to ever step foot in that cage, I would tell them, psh, psh, a big slap. That's what I would give him.
We didn't see that, but Josh is dishing out the slaps.
He's fought at heavyweight. He's been a champion at 205. He's been a champion at 185. He is someone that represents the sport and the highest fight IQ in the game. If he is a motivated fighter, he's one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport to ever fight in a cage.
And the challenger tonight, Austin Vanderford, he'll believe, and so far he's proven that one day he could be called a pound-for-pound great. Tonight would be a huge step forward in that endeavor.
He's absolutely one of those guys on his way, 11-0, undefeated, explosive wrestling. He's got explosive power in his hands. He throws that with reckless abandonment, but to close the distance and utilize his tool. He understands where he is good at. He is good in the wrestling department, and in that top position, he does work. So if he puts Gegard on his back, Look for him to get busy with the vicious ground and pound elbows, big strikes, big combinations. And he is a finisher when it comes to the submission. But Gegard is another level in terms of, I shouldn't say another level. They are equally on the level on the ground, but it just comes down to whether Gegard can make him make the mistake. Austin make him make a mistake.
Well, there's just some of the ingredients that make this main event an absolute barn burner that we are looking for here in Dublin, and it is intriguing. So at this point of the night, let's welcome in the rest of our broadcast team. We say a big good evening to Big John McCarthy, and first, Dave Farah.
Aidan, thank you so much. This crowd in Dublin never disappoints us. Even the cameraman is dancing tonight. It is phenomenal. John, what difference will the crowd make tonight? Because Gegard Mousasi will be more used to atmospheres like this one.
Well, there's no doubt. Gegard has fought in the biggest crowds. He's fought in front of thousands and thousands. We're talking 30,000, 40,000 in Japan. He's been there in the biggest arenas in the States. But this is the type of crowd that will get Gegard motivated. This is the kind of crowd Gegard needs because he is so talented, but sometimes he's lackluster because he knows he can go out there and just do what he wants, but he just takes his time and waits and just barely gets the win. Can't do that against Austin Vanderford. Austin is too powerful, too dynamic, too explosive. You've got to be able to get rid of this guy when you can. So right now, this crowd is exactly what Gegard Mousasi wants.
Yeah, the crowd is just something else. You might think that we talk about it too much, that we exaggerate, but it is phenomenal, and I really hope it's coming through to you. And they're going to be possibly at their noisiest for our co-main, Sinead Kavanagh and Leah McCourt, John. This could be short, it could be long, no one's got any idea.
I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be short, and it's going to go either way. You're talking SBG from the north against SBG here in Dublin, Ireland. Both ladies are very good in their respective areas. Sinead, she is a dynamic striker, a lot of power. McCourt, beautiful judo, great ground game, lots of submissions. Who can put the fight where they want it? That's your winner.
That is the big question. For more now on our co-main, let's welcome along the newest member of our Bellator broadcast team. It's hello to Josh Denzel.
Thanks, guys. Listen, I've been backstage where the fighters have been warming up, and let me tell you, there is a disparity between the atmospheres in both camps. Sinead Kavanagh has been very relaxed. She came and spoke to me. She was bubbly. The coach, John Kavanagh, very, very cool, calm and collected. It wasn't the same necessarily with Leah McCourt, who didn't want to speak to us. She was focused. But when I spoke to John Kavanagh, he said that they've picked out holes in Leah's game, in her stand-up game, that they look to exploit, and it's going to be explosive. No one could pick it. We spoke to Connor. He couldn't pick a winner. He's obviously rooting for Sinead as well. But, guys, I cannot wait for this one. Back to you.
Thanks very much indeed, Josh. It's great to have you along. Well done as well for making yourself heard above the bedlam here. We've got featherweights taking centre stage as we look at the rest of our main card. Kieran Clark against Abu Tounkara. Can Clark continue to improve? And we're all looking forward as well to seeing Hassan Magomedsharipov against Jose Sanchez. Can Magomedsharipov extend that unbeaten record? But what a fight to get us underway as this crowd really gets into it. A potential superstar of this sport in the shape of Jornell Lugo takes on Brian Moore, hugely popular here, and a man who wants to put some turbulent months behind him.
And now, your first fighter ready to make his way to the cage, Jornell.
this man, Brian Moore, has been on some journey since he fought Nikita Mikhailov last October. He says he lost that fight before he even got there. Such was his mental state. And since that terrible night, he's worked hard to rebuild. He's found solace in therapy. He's shown remarkable bravery in speaking publicly about those last few months. He's been heartened by messages of support, but also moved by those who've reached out to tell him that they were struggling too. They were broken, and they put themselves back together because of him. He wants to leave a fighting legacy, this man. But if that's his legacy, he'll still be the pride of Wexford, the Pikeman's Brian Moore. He soaks this up, and he will take every ounce of strength from this Dublin crowd, and he's going to need it against Jornell Lugo. The tail of the tape then, the bantamweights, Brian Moore and Jornell Lugo. And John, your eyes are drawn straight away to that age difference.
You are, but I'm telling you right now, when you're looking at Brian Moore, he is in the peak of his fighting ability, and this guy goes to the body so well, but he is up against a young prodigy in the 26-year-old Jornell Lugo.
Let's get now to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Bellator MMA live on Showtime from Dublin, Ireland. Back again here at 3 Arena. We welcome those joining us for the very first time live on BBC 3 as we get underway now at Bellator 275 with 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing first the blue corner at 5'9", weighing in 135.2 pounds, undefeated as a professional, 7 wins, no defeats. He fights out of West Palm Beach, Florida, by way of Waterbury, Connecticut, Jornell A1 Lugo. And his adversary across the cage out of the red corner at 5'8", weighing in 135.4 pounds. His professional record, 14 victories, 8 losses. From County Wexford, Ireland, presenting Brian the Pikeman Moore. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Mark Goddard.
Stand back, Lugo. Stand back. What a fight, what a night, what an atmosphere. When we spoke to Jornell Lugo in the fighter meetings, we asked him about this atmosphere. We asked him about the pressure he might feel, and he said, if the floor shakes for me, it's going to shake for him too. There's pressure on Moore here, all right, because of this atmosphere. Lugo looking to establish things behind that southpaw jab right from the start. Student of fighting, big student of boxing, big Errol Spence fan. He said he's been his obsession the last year or so, and he loves the way he jabs, and he's trying to emulate it himself.
Well, Errol Spence, unbelievable boxer, but obviously Jornell Lugo has more to deal with than just the stand-up of Brian Moore. Brian Moore will take this fight to the ground if given the opportunity, but he loves the stand-up game. Look for him to shoot that left hook to the body, but Jornell Lugo is going to be a very hard target to find. He moves his feet well. He does not stand in one position. Got tripped up right there a little bit, but he is a very, very talented young man.
Brian Moore lost here in November 2017 against A.J. McKee, and many are comparing this test to that one because of where Lugo might go.
You know, the similarities are definitely there. Lugo is that next evolution of fighter, just like A.J. McKee. Very fast, very calm, good everywhere. So Brian Moore has never been given an easy fight in Bellator. Everybody he faces, top of the tier. He's faced guys like Daniel Weichel. You know, he is someone who is just a tough individual that keeps coming at him. And I think now with his mental aspect in check, I think he's going to be more dangerous than ever.
And he made it very clear as well, Brian Moore. He said, I chose Lugo. They asked me to name an opponent, and I chose him. I wanted to test myself against him.
You got to admire that. I don't think it's real smart, but you got to admire it.
Let's get it working there, guys. Work the position.
I think it shows where he is and what he wants to achieve, and I applaud it.
Absolutely. Nice knee thrown inside by Lugo. And this is where Jornell Lugo starts to shine. Is it does not matter what range it's at. Normally we'll see a person that they're very good at range, meaning distance. Some guys are good when we talk about getting into the boxing range, out of the kicking range, so they get into the boxing range. They're better there. Some guys are better in that clinch range. He's good everywhere. That's what is amazing at the age of 26, how good this kid is at every range of fighting.
Jornell Lugo's composure as well is preternaturally good, just staggeringly good. How he keeps himself together. He studies fights for hours, he picks them apart, he works on every single element of his game. He's trying to work out the puzzle of Brian Moore here, and maybe, just maybe, starting to find a way with those knees on the inside. Moore was wary of counter-punching ability there of Lugo.
Lugo is able, because of his athletic ability, his speed. Notice the blading stance that he has compared to a lot of guys. A lot of guys will have to square up just a little bit more. He doesn't, because he's able to stop the takedowns. He's got that quickness to him, the speed, and that enables him to be very difficult when it comes to someone attacking him. He's tough to, very tough to touch. Nice inside leg kick.
You okay, Brian?
Maybe not so nice.
Yeah.
maybe it went a little high.
It was nice looking, but it was just slightly off target. And Brian Moore is allowed to take his time.
A little bit of a delayed reaction from Moore. It wasn't bad in 5 seconds in, 10 seconds, it was a lot worse.
Here it is again.
Let's take a look, see exactly where, well, we didn't even get to see it. It was so fast.
I'm quite relieved. We saw the delayed reaction. That's all we needed to see, John. We move on. Brian Moore absolutely entitled to keep himself together. Touch of the gloves, and back they get down to business. Again, he looks for that high kick. In the first round of them both trying to work each other out. Moore blocks that kick again.
Close that hand, Brian. Close the lead hand.
They are working it out. One of the things you're seeing, Moore loves to come forward, but he's having some difficulty in doing it. And when he does come forward, you're seeing Lugo take that angle, circle out, making it to where Moore is now following in a circular pattern, not able to set his feet.
Moore with a kick of his own there, and Moore got into range. Got the crowd going. Lugo had a bit of success there. Tight opening round. Here's that Jornell Lugo team at the end of the opening round. David Zitnik, Rodney Brewer.
Dude, stay on your jab, okay? The only reason he's coming in is because you stop jabbing, okay? We're now deer in the headline, all right? I need that jab on 1,000. We train for this, all right? Jordan's got time for it, okay? He stays looking at me. Well, the kick is money, okay?
And he's going to the well with you and go to head in. If you back him up, you can't do that. You can't kick go backwards.
A little bit more back.
Not the face.
Close. Yeah, close. Forget it. We're in the round 2 now.
And he's on the push it back down. He can be forced. He can be forced, Brian.
Push it back in the hand.
Well, they were telling Lugo, as you could hear, to stay on his jab. They think that's the key to victory here. Funny, he was talking beforehand about the things he admires about Errol Spence, with whom he's been obsessed in the build-up to this, and one of them was how well he throws his combinations off his jab. He hasn't done that so far, Lugo.
right there, what you're seeing right now, that was the difference in the first round. Brian Moore was kind of holding himself back, unable to really decide when to throw or to land. And he was eating just little shots. No big shots were really landed. A couple of good knees inside, but it was the difference in the round, in my opinion. I gave it 10-9 to Lugo.
You read my mind, John. That was the next question. It was a lovely right hook on the inside there from Lugo as Moore came in. Brian Moore's 10th Bellator fight, 5-4 at the moment, but as John was saying, he's been matched so tough, and he's chosen here to be matched tough.
You got to love that about him. I mean, he wants to fight the very best out there. He believes in himself, and he's here to prove it.
He says really that the best thing that could have happened to him last year was what went on that trip to Russia, because it forced him to go and see someone. It forced him to confront all of these demons, and now he feels like he's in a better place. Just asking Moore if he was okay there after another kick that was near the mark there from Lugo.
It was more, Lugo was going for a knee, and his shin kind of came forward, touching Brian where it shouldn't. Yeah.
Those outside leg kicks there, Lugo has Moore reached in and threw that right hand. It is still very cagey, very tentative.
But as you're watching, look at the counters of Lugo. Lugo is landing his counters while Brian Moore is not. He's going to have to figure out, he's got to figure out a way to just close that distance a couple more inches.
Lugo goes for that single leg.
See, and even if Lugo doesn't get this, it puts it in Brian Moore's mind that, you know what, he's looking to take me down. Now I got to work about just making sure that doesn't happen. I got to think about it. So the takedown, although it didn't take place, it does have an effect.
Moore has seen those kicks coming all night so far.
Yeah, but he's got to respond off of it. He's got to counter off of that. He can't just sit there and eat the kick, blocking it, and not give a response. So Lugo goes, I can throw this all night.
Nice time Moore came and closed the distance. Both showing each other an awful lot of respect here. A couple of minutes of this second round, you feel that Moore is the... He needs to make something happen, and he does make something happen.
That was a big right hand landed by Brian Moore. That was flush. Lugo ate it well, but that was the best shot of the fight for Brian Moore.
Lugo's eyes look clear, but real encouragement for Brian Moore. Not just in the context of the fight, but the context, remember, of the round.
Stop, stop, go on. Back over there, back over there.
Well, the kick there from Lugo, and
come here. Away from your corner.
Complaining about the contact. I think Lugo's shaking his head. It's gone into the eye, has it?
Can you see me?
I saw the kick go up. I did not see the eye poke. I'm sure there's something that occurred. Let's take a look right here. Kick comes up. Oh, really can't see if it actually goes in the eye, but I'm sure it did. That's why Brian Moore's reaction, that right hand just kind of reaching out.
No, it's cool. Look at me. You can see me, all right? Still the same. Relax. We'll let the doctor check it. Come on, doc. Let's make sure that
they are going to have a look at it, as they have to with an eye poke. So important that everything's right.
You can wipe, of course.
Have to go through the proper tests and just clean it out and take their time. A stop-start affair.
Happy that? All right, cool.
Looks like he's okay to carry on. Good news.
No. Just be careful. No. Try me.
Inside leg kick there from Lugo as Moore advanced. And Moore responding with a really powerful leg kick of his own.
Both men looking to counter-strike. Jornell needs to just stick on that jab more often. He's not utilizing it enough.
Feels that it's the kind of round with 40 seconds to go that can be still reached out and grabbed here.
By either guy, you're right.
Lugo looks to unload with that big right hand. You still think of that right hand that Moore landed and wonder, one punch shouldn't be decisive in a round, but it might be, it can be.
Definitely can be. If that's the biggest shot, you know, you put your opponent down with a big shot, it could be the one shot that wins you the round. Nice. Beautiful. Great job by Brian Moore. Catches balance, gets himself right back.
Closing seconds of round 2, and I wonder, are we going to head into third and final round with it 1-1 here? Might just be one round apiece. We'll see what John thinks about that. I'll give you a suitable number of seconds to reflect. Tell us how you scored it. I'm not going to jump on you right at the end of the round.
You see yourself when you're present.
Some of the action here. Lugo, beautiful right-hand counter. You see Moore way off target. Moore throws the left. There's that right-hand counter. Left hand misses. But Moore had the big shot of the round. Right there, that right hand. That had an effect on Jornell Lugo. He felt it. Take a look again. Actually not. Moore landed just right off the throat. Did not have the effect that I thought it did. Did not really land.
So how did you score the second, John? How have you got it going into round 3?
You know, again, very close round. It could have gone either way. I'm giving it to Brian Moore. I looked and I thought that punch landed. I can't go back to replay as a judge. So I thought that could have been the deciding factor, just the best punch of the round. Oh, it was a big shot with the right hand.
Did land.
That definitely landed. That put Moore down. Lugo with that right hand, beautifully placed.
First time tonight that Lugo got his timing perfect. Moore's recovered though. We'll give Lugo encouragement, and he swung that big looping right hook again. Going to put those kicks together as well here, Lugo.
Moore's been giving some great head feints, but he's not doing anything off of them. He's throwing the feint, and then nothing comes. Right there, you see the feint. He tries to set it up. No shots coming off of it.
It is noticeable, though, that Jornell Lugo has decided to come out and be more active at the start of this third round. Maybe senses that he needs to win it to win the fight.
Right now, Brian Moore, he's in position, but he's not pulling the trigger. Lugo has been throwing shots. He's been touching at times. There was a nice shot to the body by Moore, but he's got to throw more. Oh, look at the clean up hand.
That landed. And then the right uppercut wasn't far away from Moore. Is he just starting to throw caution to the wind a little bit here? He's throwing in these booming shots, and he's barely missing with them.
Exactly. He missed with that one. That right hand missed. But he needs to start pulling the trigger more. Let it out.
Lugo back on the jab. Might well still be up for grabs. It's all been very tight. One of those that is really hard to score, impossible to score decisively. A couple of good outside leg kicks there from Moore. Lugo made Moore miss, but predictable there from the Irishman.
Lugo should think about which way he is moving right now. He was in the southpaw stance, but he's moving towards Brian Moore's power.
Moore just clipped him with the uppercut, and Lugo's switching so much that he runs the danger of being caught square as well.
Just got to figure Lugo has probably landed at almost twice the rate that Brian Moore has. And he's even landed some of the bigger shots. Think about the beginning of this round. He put Moore down. Might have been, somewhat of off balance. Still a good shot to put him there.
Moore closing the gap as he has to. Is either fighter, as we head for the final minute, going to grab hold of this, going to do something decisive, going to make the move that might make it their night.
Well, Moore tried right there. Nice spinning back kick attempt. Did not land, though.
Moore trying to line him up here, but Lugo uses his feet.
All of those missed, though. Take a look at those. If you go back, you're going to see Lugo. He's flowing with those shots, and they're just skimming by.
Moore senses that he needs a big finish here. Lugo's clever again. Lugo has countered Moore cleverly in this final round, well, all the way through the fight, but noticeably here, maybe that's going to be enough.
Could be the difference.
Well, we thought it might catch fire. It never quite has. Looks like it's going to go to the cards, and it's going to be one of those. You'll be scoring it yourselves at home. Everyone will have an opinion. Has Lugo done enough? Much respect between them. It will go to the judges. Obviously, we know who this crowd here wants to win. Let's have a look at some replays from that third and final round, John.
Look at that, my Lugo. The big difference in this was the accuracy. Brian Moore was unable to find Lugo on a lot of his shots. That was the one that put him down. A little bit off balance from him throwing. Brings the kick up. But when Moore went after him, you could see the power right there. That was a beautifully placed left hook. But then Lugo responds, coming back with counter strikes. It was just a matter of Lugo having a little bit more range, a little bit more in being elusive and not being able to find the target if you're Brian Moore. Close fight. Close fight.
You can see Conor McGregor in the background cheering on Brian Moore. Everyone's going to want to know how have you got it.
I've got it for Lugo. I have it 29-28. Jornell Lugo, but you never know.
One of those, isn't it, John, where you have it for Lugo, but you could see the argument. You could see the argument. You could see how it might go the other way. We're going to find out very, very shortly. Brian Moore wanted this challenge, and he responded to it, but as Lugo just known too much, almost just been a bit too clever on his feet. As I said, it is one of those fascinating ones where at home you will have an opinion. And
this is one of those ones you want to watch in slow motion because a lot of the shots just slid by, or there was motion on both guys. So hard to tell.
Well, let's find out from the people that matter. Michael C. Williams has the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go now to your three judges at cage side. Your first, Kevin McDonald, scores the fight 30-27, while judges Eric Colon and Brian Miner both see it the same, 29-28. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Jornell A1 Lugo.
They score it for Lugo, and he marches on 8-0. It was tight, but in the end, they agreed with Big John. Lugo Aiden gets the win.
And congratulations to him. Well, Bellator MMA has got 4 more fights before we sleep tonight, but we've also got the fights that you're going to be dreaming of. Here's what's coming your way.
From Brooklyn, New York, here is the undefeated interim WBA super featherweight champion, Chris Primetime Colbert.
I like to fight. I was born to fight. I was fighting since I was a little kid. I have 10 siblings, so it wasn't easy in my house, you know? I'm the middle child, so like, everything I had to work for. To be honest, my rise in this sport really wasn't super hard because I put in the time, I put in everything to get to where I am.
Oh, and Colbert lands a combination flush.
I always knew I was that guy. Like in the words of Deion Sanders, everybody trying to be that guy until it's time to be that guy. You gotta be born that guy. I was born that guy.
Colbert's hand speed and his crisp combinations fully on display.
Every fight, I decide to choose a cause.
Adorned in pink to support breast cancer awareness.
People around me or people that I know or something that I decide to do it. This fight I'm doing autism because I know a couple people that have it. And I know it's a big thing, so I decided to do it.
The undefeated interim WBA super featherweight champion, Chris Colbert.
Go out, Tom. February 20th. Yeah. Don't miss it. It's going down. I'm live on Showtime.
Don't miss this Showtime Championship Boxing triple header headlined by Chris Primetime Colbert against undefeated and former Olympian Hector Luis Garcia. Plus, Gary Antoine Russell faces his toughest test to date versus former champ Victor Postol. And Jerwin Ancajas makes the 10th defense of his IBF Junior welterweight world title against Fernando Martinez. We're throwing leather all weekend thanks to Showtime, your home for combat sports. And that's your weekend and more covered here on Showtime and beyond. Well, here in Dublin tonight, we're about to see one of the brightest prospects in the featherweight division, Hassan Magomedsharipov. He's taking on Bellator newcomer Jose Sanchez. Let's talk about Sharipov first tonight, Josh. He is 6-0. He is undefeated. He is from Dagestan, and surprise, surprise, he's a finisher.
Yeah, he can finish this fight anywhere. He finishes it on the feet. He'll finish on the ground. He'll finish the submission on the feet as well. He'll jump to your back. He'll jump arm in guillotine. He can do it all. You know, his brothers have beat him. The two of them together are finishers, and him himself, what he does very well is he can take this fight anywhere. Hits the ground, the submissions will happen on the feet. Look for him to stay long. Look for him to be flashy. Jose Sanchez will come forward, and when he comes forward, look for Magomedsharipov to stick and move and land the clean shots and make Sanchez make a mistake.
All right, we will see what is in store for Magomedsharipov and Jose Sanchez as they both get set to make the walk in front of this raucous crowd here in Dublin tonight. So to get us underway, we will send it back down to Big John and Dave Farah.
Yeah, thanks very much indeed, Aidan. Time for another chance then to see Hassan Magomedsharipov, one of the latest talents to emerge, as you were saying, from Dagestan, the 21-year-old looking to make another statement here.
And now, to make his way to the cage, Jose Sanchez. ready to make his way, Hassan Magomedsharipov.
Hassan Magomedsharipov, a gifted fighter from Dagestan, who's winning with some ease at this early point in his career. He's moved seamlessly to 6-0 after his debut in December 2019. Tonight, he looks to make it 2-0 in the Bellator cage after he dispatched Jonathan Queiroz in round 2 of his debut in July. He's a proper prospect, isn't he?
Man, he is so good everywhere. It's so funny. He looks just like his brother. The only difference is his brother's got longer hair, both on the beard and the head. But this guy fights just like his brother. He's good in the stand-up. His ground game is fantastic. Beautiful takedowns from the wrestling. And when he gets position on you, he is just devastating with his ground and pound. He goes after the submissions well. Doesn't have any weaknesses.
Goes about everything calmly. He does do calm and regulated. Let's see where it takes him tonight. The tail of the tape between the featherweights then. Hassan Magomedsharipov and Jose Sanchez. And John, you want to focus on those records.
Let's look at it and be honest. 6-0. He's just on a tear. 11-1. Going up against a very good fighter. This should be a great matchup.
It should. Let's get to Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA now features the featherweight division set for 3 5-minute rounds live on Showtime. We introduce the blue corner at 5'9", weighing in 145.4 pounds. In his Bellator debut, he brings 11 professional victories, just 1 defeat from Lanzarote, Canary Islands, Spain, presenting Jose Sanchez. And across the cage his adversary out of the red corner at 5'11", weighing in 145.6 pounds. The undefeated professional holds 6 victories without a defeat out of Mahatskala, Dagestan, Russia. Introducing Hassan Magomedsharipov. In charge of the action, referee Kevin McDonald.
Crowd is growing, the atmosphere building towards something very special. Jose Sanchez here in those blue gloves, having a good look at Hassan Magomedsharipov, man from Dagestan with 2 wins by knockout, 3 by submission. Sanchez lost last time out, his first defeat. Guillotine in round 1 against Felipe da Silva Maia. Can he put any kind of dent here in Magomedsharipov?
Well, he came in with that same aggressiveness, shooting for the takedown. He's now on the single leg, but he's unable to get it. He's eating some elbows inside.
This was always going to be the start from Sanchez, wasn't it? Come out and try and be positive and try and drive his man back.
Already turning the position as Hassan getting into a grappling exchange with someone who has the wrestling pedigree of all these guys from Dagestan. Not an easy thing to do. He's open with his head. You see those hands out wide. He's got to be very careful putting his head inside on that takedown too.
And Magomedsharipov landed a sneaky left hook on the inside there as Sanchez dipped his head. There is a calmness, almost a smile that plays around the lips of Magomedsharipov that must be very difficult when you're taking him on.
See, it's right there, that flying knee attempt. He's not worried at all about you taking him down. If you take him down, he's going to be okay. I'm going to get right back up. So he's going to do things that a lot of guys will hold off on doing early in the fight. Hassan is just in that position. He's like, I'll do everything I want to do in this fight. Sanchez going back to that takedown attempt. It hasn't been successful so far.
Trying to land what he can, Sanchez. Just that effortless turn from Magomedsharipov.
One thing to notice, watch how Sanchez dips his head to the right. Every time he's throwing, that head is going in that safe position. And if I'm seeing it, trust me, Magomedsharipov is going to see it too.
There's a fella in the back row of the arena who can see it.
Probably true.
The difference in the way they go about it is really noticeable, although that was a good right hand from Sanchez.
You saw Hassan trying to bring the knee up. He saw the head. It just went off to the side.
Remember that finish from MVP against Richard Kiley in this very venue. Duck of the head and the perfectly timed knee. That's what Magomedsharipov was looking for, albeit in very different fashion, of course.
I talk about it all the time. A knee is such a heavy weapon. When it lands, it has so much power and torque behind it, it puts anybody out.
Right on cue, there's a different kind of knee from Magomedsharipov, and then the spinning back kick. Now, Magomedsharipov with the takedown.
All that work by Sanchez, working for that takedown. Now he finds himself on the bottom. Let's see what he can do to get himself back to his feet. So he was looking for a Kimura there, not there for him. Half guard for Hassan.
This is where he wants to be, though. Just trying to isolate that arm, Magomedsharipov. Again, he's just got so much time, hasn't he?
And so, you know, Sanchez got the underhook when he needed it, but then loses it. And you see what Magomedsharipov does to get it back in the guard position here, with Sanchez locking up his legs. He's telling you he's pretty much defensive and holding Magomedsharipov in that position.
Well, there were many who said this wouldn't get to the end of round one, and credit to Sanchez for taking it here. But he really struggled to find a way to make any kind of mark there on Magomedsharipov. He just looked in control for the whole round.
Yeah, the big difference is one guy was able to be effective when he wanted to be offensive. The other one, everything he did just kind of was missing. There's that knee. It did touch the head. Take a look here again. Watch the knee come up. Just touches, not the way he wanted it to. Is at the end of the power base on it, but all he's got to do is retime that again. Right hand by Sanchez over the top. That was very nice. But overall, it was always Magomedsharipov basically in control. Even though Sanchez was pushing the pace and bringing the fight to the cage, he was unable to do anything with it.
Sanchez does have 2 wins by KO, but 5 by submission. His last 3 have all come by a submission. So even though he landed that terrific right hand, he doesn't carry that much power. It's almost something a bit soul-destroying when you land a shot as good as that. Magomedsharipov just looked at him. That woke me up. Does have that real calmness about him. Still Sanchez still in there, he's still trying to find a way. Looking for that right hand again there, Sanchez.
I thought in the first round, I thought Magomedsharipov did enough. He was the one in control of the round. He landed the better shots. I gave it to him 10-9. Nice knee to the body.
There's a cut as well.
Yep.
Just wonder if the man from Dagestan, having had a look for a round, is starting to just turn up the heat here.
Beautiful job. You notice all of those circles on the outside. It just gets to the point you can't keep up. Just nice technique by Hassan Magomedsharipov.
Trying to stay that step ahead of his opponent here. Couple of steps ahead.
He's got that Dagestani handcuff on the right side if you're looking. Something that all the Dagestani fighters go to now. Controlling that arm, he knows that he's got a free shot. He only has to get past one hand. Great job by Sanchez to get back to his feet, trying to work his way up, but there's just a lot of hip riding pressure by Magomedsharipov.
Don't grab the face. Might not be on his feet for long here.
Saw did a beautiful job, kind of pulls him back, kicked his feet out. That's what put him down. Now he's got the one hook in.
See how all of this effort is tiring Sanchez as well now.
Using a lot of strength to try to get himself up at times. Now Sharapov's got both hooks in.
Just starting to unload now. Sanchez needs to make sure that he covers up or that tries to get out of this position. He's looking for the choke there, Magomedsharipov. It wasn't there.
He needs to make sure that he's able to get his hips in line with Sanchez's hips. That'll help him with the choke. Right now, he's just making Sanchez work, vary his weight, opens up with some ground and pound. Just starting to take the fight over.
Well, there's just a terrifying, almost casual relentlessness about the way that he is taking over here. It's so deliberate.
Now into the mount.
Completely dominant this from Magomedsharipov.
I know people are looking at that cut, kind of looking at where that, blood is coming from. That came from they clashed heads. Accidental head clash, that's what the cut, you're seeing that Sanchez did get cut by it. Magomedsharipov did not.
Once again, we return to that theme of all the effort Sanchez making to get back to his feet, and then down he goes again.
And it's just so frustrating when you work so hard to get back up, and they kind of, in a certain fashion, they'll let you, they'll hip ride you and let that point where you think I can get up, and right away they just break you down, take you back down to the ground, and make it to where all that work was for nothing.
This has been a grinding round from Hassan Magomedsharipov. Calm control. Got Sanchez where he wants him now, trying to build.
It's all about hand fighting right now. Beautiful elbow, but the hand fighting is what Sanchez needs to be careful of. He cannot allow those hands to slip by. Sharipov banding that, going right back up on top. You can hear that. That's a heavy blow.
10 seconds to go in round number 2. The spirit of this man Sanchez is extraordinary. There's a knee from Magomedsharipov. Superbly accurate. Supremely dominant. Take a look at the clash of heads that caused that cut. There it is, John.
That was the clash of heads right there. See it starting to come out just a little bit there. That was a big round for Magomedsharipov. He dominated the action of that round. Landed a lot of shots. There was very little offense after that clinching exchange by Sanchez because he was having to defend the entire fight. When you're looking towards a 10-8 round, that's what you're looking towards. Look at this knee right here, beautifully placed. Puts him back on his heels. Luckily, the fence is there for him to keep him up.
That's where the cut is on the Sanchez head. It would be bordering on the miraculous if Sanchez could find the kind of massive third round he needs here. If it's more of the same, well, it's a question of whether he does it inside the distance or not.
I look at it right now. I have him down well in the fight. He's going to have to come up with a submission or a knockout to get this win.
So a third and final round. Hassan Magomedsharipov, who's impressing an awful lot of people. And those red gloves against Jose Sanchez. Second round there. And 8 confirmed from Big John. 3-point margin. Magomedsharipov building on that.
Amazing, someone as young as Hassan, just the fight IQ he has and the calmness inside of the cage, just flowing from one technique to the next. Unbelievable.
There is a sense of someone going through their repertoire here a bit, almost starting to show off.
And again, right to the mount now, just getting to dominant positions, and he's quick into, okay, I'll give up the mount, I'll just take your back, okay, I'll hip right, okay, back to getting the hooks. He just flows with the fight, doing whatever he wants. Beautiful job, bringing him right back down. Got to give it to Sanchez. He is not in any way giving up. Still trying to figure out a way to get himself back in this fight.
Yeah, he has been the ultimate proud fighting man here, all right. Cannot question his heart, Sanchez. Up against a man here, 11 years his junior, who is so well schooled, the former Wushu Sounder Russian national champion, the European champion at that discipline as well.
And you just got to look at the guys that Hassan is working out with. First off, his brother, then guys like Magomedov, then guys like Frankie Edgar. He's got a plethora of guys that are super talented, that are just elevating his game and making him just a tough person to go in the cage against.
It is that daily quest, that quest of a career to see how good you can be. And he seems to do it every minute of every day, certainly every second of every round.
Right there, just blew right past his guard, getting himself to half guard. See Sanchez trying to buck and move his hips, unable. The pressure right now, the chest-to-chest pressure of Hassan Magomedsharipov, just unbelievable as far as the control. It's hard to describe when you are flat on your back to have someone putting that kind of pressure on you. It interrupts your breathing. It's uncomfortable. Most people think, oh, they're just lying there. No, that is very uncomfortable to be in. If you're Mr. Sanchez.
They are definitely not just lying there. And that real pressure from Magomedsharipov.
Magomed's looking for an arm triangle choke. He's trying to work that head over. He's going to have to get his arm on the other side. Not there for him. See right here, now he's in that position. He can get that choke, but he's going to have to come off to the left side, the right side of Sanchez, his left. Sanchez moves and he's out.
Talk about the value of really high-class amateur experience. Well, Magomedsharipov reckons he had about 100 amateur fights. He lost count. And they will have been some tough outings, all right.
Yeah, you take a look at all of the wrestling matches, all of the sambo matches, everything. He's been doing this since he was a very, very young man. and he's just getting better.
Applying pressure with everything that he's doing here. Sanchez at the moment is not too far away from at least proudly lasting the distance here. Landing a couple of elbows. Well, this has been a story of two fighters on very different journeys, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Sanchez has won his fight in many ways by surviving. But Magomedsharipov, dominant, excellent, and there's so much more to come from him.
Oh my God. So young, so talented. Things are only going to get better for him.
Sanchez moves unsteadily away towards the edge of the cage. Magomedsharipov is going to be confirmed as the winner in the next few moments. It's as simple as that. The question will be, where will he go next? Where will he go eventually? It does feel as if the fight world is his oyster at the moment. So much ability. Of course, it'll get harder. That's the point. That's how it works.
Trust me, as you go up, they only get more difficult. That's just the fight game. You know, skill levels do change, and you're going to end up facing guys that their levels are the same as yours. You've got to figure out ways to get that win.
Thing is, given that he's only 21, John, his skill level is going to improve as well
I know.
as he goes along the journey.
That's what's so scary. You look, you go 21 years of age, and you're able to do all of those things effortlessly. The transitions that kid makes in the cage from technique to technique is just unbelievable.
It's the way it's so inbuilt as well. There's almost a matter-of-factness about the way he goes about it. Just he's standing there now, just smiling, and another job done. Almost wishes he could do it all over again. All that remains for us is to make the whole thing official. Michael is still just topping up those scorecards and making sure. I suspect that might be because there's a couple of 10-8s in there, but we'll see. It won't be a question of who's won, just what the gap is, what the official score is. Anyway, Michael's making his way back into the cage now. Much action yet to come from Dublin, but let's go to Michael C. Williams to make this official.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your three judges at cage side, where Judge Brian Miner scores the fight 30-26. Judges Ben Cartledge, Eric Colon, both see it the same 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Hassan Magomedsharipov.
Excellent from Hassan Magomedsharipov. He wins by unanimous decision. What next for him, I wonder, Aidan?
Well, whoever is next, possibly going to be a nightmare for that person and a lot of the 145ers. My lungs are tight after watching that, Josh Thompson. All right, from one undefeated featherweight to another, it is Kieran Clark's big night here in the 3 Arena as he's about to collide with knockout artist Abu Tounkara from France. He's been calling Josh for the shot on the main card. Clark has. He got it tonight. That brings a level of excitement, but also a level of risk in his opponent as well.
Yeah, Tounkara is very fast on the feet. He's explosive. He's long, tall, and lanky. You know where I'm going with that. What he is, he's got great footwork. He's quick with the jabs, got great combinations. He's got to stay outside of Clark's range. And don't be surprised if he's able to get Clark to go backwards, that he may try to get the takedown to be on top of Clark.
Well, Clark is 4-0 in his professional career and indeed in Bellator. How impressed, Josh, were you in his last fight with that gut check and that chin check that he withstood?
As a promoter, as someone sitting back here as used to be a fighter for years, I look at what he went through in that fight. He took some big shots early in that fight. kept grinding, kept pushing forward, took flying knees, took big right hands, all of these things. But in that third round, when he got this crowd behind him and he got to the takedown and got to the back, he came through in the clinch and it set this crowd on fire. And I'm telling you, I believe tonight, that's a big reason why he's on this main card. Not only that, this crowd is here for him.
Indeed. All right, well, he says, as he told us this week, he is improving in every fight and he is ready to electrify this Dublin crowd. Let's hear from him now with Josh Denzel.
Kieran, we're here backstage in the dressing room at Bellator 275 before a huge fight against Abu Tounkara. Talk to me through your day-to-day. What does a fight day look like for you?
Same really, you know, just get up, get a good sleep obviously, and get the breakfast into me. And it's just really a long wait then, you know. The closer it gets to the fight, I get more excited and I get less nervous, you know. So it's the more and more it gets closer, I feel better, you know, the way. So yeah.
What do you know about your opponent? What are you concerned about? What have you done, put in place in camp to try and nullify that?
I know that he's a good striker. He's going to be long rangey, trying to keep me at bay. You know, if he's if he's good, you know, I think he'd be trying to do that. You know, so yeah, I've prepared for that. You know, I'm training with guys long enough doing that. You know, so I've put the work in. So I'm looking forward to it.
Does being a home fighter add a little bit of added spice, a bit of added pressure here today?
Of course it does. Yeah. I mean, but as well, it gives you that advantage, you know. You have that kind of camaraderie feeling. You'll feel that energy in there. You'll feel the crowd and they're behind you, you know. So it's I'm going to be a tough man to beat. Yeah.
Can you give us a little prediction?
I think I'm going to wear my opponent down, and yeah, maybe a late finish.
Late finish. We'd love to hear it. Good luck and enjoy.
Thank you.
Wow, that is coolness personified when you're about to make your main card debut. Josh is just nodding along. He knows how that feels. To be super confident, and as Clark tells us this week, it comes from the training.
It absolutely does. But 26 years old, he's 4-0. Not a lot of experience under his belt, with a big stage in front of him tonight. This is what you want to see from your young talent. Exactly what you're going to see. How calm and collected he was all week.
All right, it is the biggest night of his professional career so far, but will it be his best?
We will soon find out, because it is time for Kieran Clark and Abu Tounkara to get it on, as the Frenchman hopes to upset a local favourite who we know doesn't always make things easy for himself.
And now ready to make his way to the cage, Abu Tounkara.
Well, Abu Tounkara was born in Saint-Denis in the north of Paris 8 years before France lifted the Football World Cup in the stadium that's made that district famous in the sporting world. Tonight he walks into a less familiar arena, a hostile one that he says will not faze him, and he'll need to keep his cool here as he looks to silence the Dublin crowd and deal with the significant threat of a popular and gifted opponent. What, John, is Tounkara's route to victory here, do you think?
In my opinion, Abu needs to keep this on the feet as much as he can. He believes in his ground game, and his ground game is good. He's a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but it is the strength of Kieran Clark, and Abu's got length on him. He's got speed on him. Keep this thing on the feet for as long as you can and do damage.
Set now to make his way, Kieran Clark.
Now they're on their feet. The last time Bellator was here in Dublin, Kieran Clark was the fighter that gave us one of the moments of the night that electrified the night with that finish against Jordan. He looks to build here on his 4 wins in the Bellator cage. He continues to look for improvement in every single aspect of his MMA skill set. And if he does continue to improve, who knows how far him and this crowd might go, because he rides the wave, John.
Oh, he does. And I'll tell you what, he has got just grit. Because you look at that last fight against Jornell, he was down. He was down in the fight. He needed that 3rd round submission, and he went and made it happen. That says everything about what he's got inside.
So the featherweights, Kieran Clark and Abu Tounkara. Here is the tail of the tape, and look at that disparity in reach, John.
And that's what I'm talking about. When you have an advantage like that, you have speed on your side. Those 8 inches can be a huge factor in this fight.
Let's get now to the cage to Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on Showtime continues with the featherweight division set for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing the blue corner at 5'11", weighing in 145.8 pounds. Tonight he makes his Bellator debut with 7 professional victories, 2 losses out of Paris, France. Abu Tounkara. And across the cage, his adversary tonight fights out of the red corner at 5'8", weighing in 144.8 pounds, undefeated as a professional, 4 victories, no defeats, from Drogheda, County Louth, Ireland, introducing Kieran Clark. In charge of the action, referee Mark Goddard.
So is it going to be another Kieran Clark night? The Irishman with those red gloves against Abu Tounkara. And like Jordan Barton, there is, of course, that height advantage. Tounkara needs to keep this on his feet, and Clark straight away looking for that takedown, looking to set it up.
Clark now going to the body lock, but that's going to be difficult for him to get that takedown just based upon the length of Tounkara. When you're that shorter fighter, you get into the body lock positions, to elevate that guy and get his foot off of the ground is not easy. But very smart move by Clark, immediately closing the distance, staying out of the range, and taking away that 8-inch reach advantage.
But one of the most interesting things, listening to Kieran Clark in our fighter meetings, and you were asking him about what he was working on, and he was talking about increasing the knowledge of positions that he's already good at, becoming even more expert. It's a sign of a really sharp mind, a really good team, which, of course, we expect.
That's everything you expect out of a coach like John Kavanagh. Never settling in that we're good enough, always trying to learn. Nice. Got him to switch those legs. That was not a good move by Abu, but he was able to at least keep Kieran away from catching that leg. He's still on that takedown attempt.
Feels like this is the fight right here. Tounkara was looking at those short elbows. Finally, Clark does get the takedown, but Tounkara straight back to his feet and landed that knee as well. And now he lands a jab and looks for a left hand.
That was a big moment for Abu. He needed to make Kieran have to work hard. He stopped that takedown and hit the ground. He was right back on top. Looking for the guillotine.
It's been a good start, this, from Abu Tounkara. A good minute anyway.
Don't think that he has it right now. You can see Kieran's working hard, but did not have that choke. Abu has the ability to lighten him up. Big hammer fist. This is not going the way that Kieran Clark thought it would as far as the grappling.
Abu Tounkara was almost a little offended, I think, when we talked about him not wanting it on the ground. He said, I'm good on the ground, and he's trying to prove it to us here.
He's absolutely trying to prove it right now.
Crowd are trying to roar Kieran Clark on here.
Nice hook, looking for the other one. Kieran just stopped it. Abu's in a bad position. Kieran's going to be able to shake him off. He's got to work towards getting back on top. There you go. Nice job. Don't settle. He's looking to isolate that arm.
Still working on it, isn't he?
He's looking for it. Kieran's able to defend right now.
Relentless pressure here on Clark. Trying to extricate himself. He does.
Still got the Kavanagh grip on that right arm, though.
Yeah, the crowd went a bit early there.
Well, he doesn't have his legs in a position to be able to make that work. And if Kieran takes him, he'd step around. The problem is the fence is in the direction that he'd want to go.
Clark started well, but it's Tounkara since that opening minute.
What Clark's trying to do is get his elbow past the upper arm of Tounkara. Nice elbow to the body and ribcage. If he can get that elbow past that upper arm, he's going to be able to turn his arm out.
Good work now from Clark. Those elbows to the body paying dividends there. And he does get his arm out.
And this is one of the moments when we watch a fighter like Abu hold on to that when you know that's not going to work. Don't hold on to something that's not going to work. Get yourself to a better position with it if you can. If you can't, let go of it and start moving.
That gets back to fight IQ, doesn't it?
It does.
Intriguing opening round, that. Tounkara did really well after the initial pressure from Clark. Tounkara feeling that left shoulder, but talk us through this, John.
No, it was a great sequence and a lot of good elbow strikes, and then you see Kieran actually giving the position to try to roll through, but Abu goes and does the same thing with it, coming out on the top of it, ending up back on his feet, and then landed some good strikes while on his feet, and he ends up in the top position. But again, you could see that he was losing the position. Clark slowly and systematically working his way out. He gets to the top position. Now he's holding on to the Kavanagh grip. Now there's a little bit of a chance, but notice where his legs are at. There's no legs to control Kieran Clark's body. You're kind of stuck.
How did you score the opening round, John?
Opening round, I give to Tounkara. I looked at it, he did the best work by far, but there's something going on here because he's still seated in his corner.
He was feeling that shoulder.
Over. The fight's over.
And you can see he's in agony. He's in agony here. They've called it off. Tounkara is getting the ice on the shoulder there. Kieran Clark apologising there to Tounkara, John, and that's a sad ending, isn't it?
Something happened. Looks like he dislocated his shoulder, possibly. Things happen in fighting. Just part of it. It was a good round for him. I thought he won the round, but in the end, you can win the battle and lose the war. You can see he's posting up with that arm right there. You can see it up right at the end of the round. And you can see it popped out. Take a look at it right there. See that lump on the top of his shoulder? That's what your problem is.
Well, he went to it straight away. He's not happy. Of course he's not. He had a good opening round. And, well, you can take encouragement from the way he performed. Kieran Clark's upset as well, of course. It's not the way he wanted things to go. It's a sense of deflation, really, in that cage. Kieran Clark has the flag draped around his shoulders. And we can get into the cage to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to injury and on the advice of the cage side physician, referee Mark Goddard steps in, waves off the contest. Official time, 5 minutes, round number 1. The winner by TKO, Kieran.
Well, let's hear now from Kieran Clark. Not the way he wanted it to finish, but we can get his thoughts now with Big John.
I'm here with your winner, Kieran Clark. Kieran, that was a tough round. You had some positions that you had some trouble with. You slowly and systematically worked your way back into that top position. You had a Kimura grip, but you knew that it wasn't there for him. How are you feeling now with a big win in front of your fans here in Ireland?
Look, I'm delighted with the win, to be honest. But look, it was a bit of a bittersweet moment, obviously, with the injury. But I did feel, though, I was breaking him. I was coming in the second and third round to, you know, really put the pressure on him, and I could feel the pressure getting to him, you know. So, but look, delighted to get the win here in Bellator. Thanks very much to Scott Croker and all the Bellator team for having me in the main card. Up, Jornell!
Give me an idea for you what it's like for you to be able to fight in this cage in front of this crowd.
It's unbelievable. It's literally a dream come true. I'm watching the likes of Richie Smullen and the lads here in Barma a few years ago. And here I am now, main card. I was a swing bow. All I want to say is thanks a million to all my sponsors. Really appreciate it. My Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I'd like to dedicate that win to my friend Blahin. She's only after overcoming cancer at 27 years old. We love you, Blahin.
Congratulations on a good win. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your own Kieran Clark.
Fighting for his friends, fighting for the people of Drogheda. Kieran Clark, one of the most popular people in this building. Well, Bellator MMA live from Dublin will continue after this.
When it comes to Michael Prince Capital, what you've done before today is not my concern.
That's the way of the gun.
And you're okay with it.
The gun doesn't care what I'm okay with.
The billionaire class, they're a scourge. I'm gonna get them where they live.
I come to take what is mine.
He won't stop till he gets what he wants.
I can't lower my rifle. I don't go to war that way. I just go to war.
My name is Travis. I am the founder of Uber. And contrary to what you might have read, I am not a monster.
He is bold and uncompromising.
Is this legal?
Grow or die.
You need to start listening to the people that help build this company.
The city has been taken!
Well, not long to go to our massive main event. Bellator Gold is on the line in Dublin tonight with the legendary Gegard Mousasi, now on his second run as middleweight champion, entering the cage for his 58th professional fight and his second defense of the title. The Dreamcatcher is a 6-time MMA world champion. He's defeated 11 world champions over the course of his historic career, and he says tonight he will make his opponent pay for his mistakes, and he is going for the finish. Well, that opponent is the #1 contender, Austin Vanderford, a national wrestling champion, fighting out of American Top Team in Florida. And Vanderford boasts a perfect 11-0 record and possesses explosive power and devastating ground and pound, which he says will be too much for Mousasi to withstand, and that he'll be crowned the new king in the middleweight division. Well, Mr. Van Zandt, as many like to call him, he plans to put some respect on his name tonight.
Yo, you might know me from beating up guys and grinding out wins in the Bellator cage. You might know me from my crazy neck tattoo. And you could even know me from social media. My name's Austin Vanderford, AKA Mr. Van Zandt. Everyone knows my wife, Paige. She's beautiful, she's smart, and she's one badass bitch. So Mr. Van Zandt's a nickname I've embraced. I actually got it early on in my career. my opponent thought they could kind of get one over on me. So instead of fighting it, I just kind of rolled with it. And, you know, now you're just going to get your face beat up by Paige VanZant's husband. So we like to have a lot of fun with our social media. We take funny pictures. Some can be a little risque, but they've gotten us a lot of notoriety.
I wouldn't say it's his choice to do all the social media stuff, but he does it for me, right?
Yeah. All right, so this first one is nicknamed the Matador.
You nicknamed it the Matador?
Yeah.
Iconic picture.
We took this one actually right here in the apartment.
We did a different couch then.
This is one of my favorite pictures of us of all time.
I just think you look really manly. Next.
Here we are, naked in the kitchen.
Covered in flour.
Cooking powder. Oh, okay.
That's a good one too.
This one's more
artsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we had one shot to take the picture. One shot, otherwise my hair is gonna be soaking wet.
Yeah.
And I think we nailed it.
Yeah, so we got it.
Yay.
What we got next?
Oh my God.
Oh, now this one is COVID. This one's quarantine. This was the start of our naked picture taking.
They did a feature on it in the New York Times, which was pretty crazy for us during like quarantine. Normally when he's in the pictures with me, they don't do as good.
People don't like it as much.
People loved this picture.
So although we do have a lot of fun together, it's times like now that we do really buckle down. I got a big fight with Gegard Mousasi coming up, and I know what I got to do to go get that done.
Go get that belt.
You know, I think like the stigma of the fighter, you know, is this tough, rugged, no smile, and that's just not me, and it's not my personality. I've got a beautiful wife that I love, and a lot of people like to make fun of me riding her coattail and saying this or that, but to me, you know, I come in here every day, I put in the work, and it's my true passion, and I just love it. Honestly, at the age of 5, I knew I wanted to be a fighter. My dad got me into wrestling back in Alaska. I was really successful starting off. I won 7 state championships in a row. I went on to college, and I was a 2-time All-American national champion there. So I've been at the top of every athletic endeavor that I've had. But when you look at the division, obviously the king right now is Gegard Mousasi. If you're a fan of the sport, you know who Gegard Mousasi is. He hasn't really come across a style that he hasn't seen before, you know. And, you know, I feel like he's fighting for a paycheck, where as me, man, I'm fighting for my legacy, and I'm fighting because I love to fight. This is the title and the status that I want more than anything in the sport, you know, to be a Bellator middleweight champion and beating someone like Gegard Mousasi to get it, because this is the guy that I wanted to fight. And if you didn't know who Austin Vanderford was, you definitely will after this fight.
I'm getting that belt, baby. Bring it back to South Florida.
How cool was that at home with the VanZants? I mean, the Vanderfords, the Vanderfords, whatever they like to call. That was fun. Do you know what? Anyone who hates on them is jealous. They're a great couple, Josh. And do you know what? Check this out. From the New York Post this week, they are true crossover stars. Have a look at this. They've made global coverage. Paige VanZant shows a different side in what she calls cringy new photo shoot with husband. That's them pictured here in Dublin. Well, you can call it cringy. You can call it kooky. It's very cute, isn't it?
I'd hate to be in that house when they're both in fight camps. I can just imagine what the battles are like.
Probably good practice, perhaps. But you know what? That must give Austin, perhaps, confidence, but also just to have a partner who knows exactly, in these very moments right now, what he's going through.
Yeah, there's a lot between the two of them. Look, they're relaxed around each other. You see them through the hotel all week. I've seen them in multiple times supporting one another, you know, publicly and privately. They're absolutely amazing together, and they don't let anybody else bother what they're doing, and that's what makes them a great couple.
Indeed, and for Austin Vanderford, that can only help when Paige can understand, you know, the exact emotions that he is feeling. Well, that is our main event. It is on the way shortly, but of course, we have our co-main co-main event, and it is our 2 Irish featherweights. It is Leah McCourt, ranked at number 5, taking on Sinead Kavanagh, right behind her at number 5. And you know what, Josh, this fight, it's been a matter of not if, but when, for 2 friends friends and two former training partners that they would collide to decide who's the best 145er in Ireland. That's one thing, and maybe who gets a shot at the title.
Yeah, it all goes out the door, but Sinead right now, honestly, what she's got to do is just make sure she comes out, imposes her will. If she's able to go out there, push Leah McCourt to the fence, and just light her up like she's doing right here, just touching her. She doesn't need to load up and try to land the hard shot. All she's got to do is touch Leah McCourt, and the punches and the combinations will come. She possesses power in both hands, so if she's patient, I believe she'll be able to get Leah McCourt out of there, but she's got to be patient. She learned a lot, I think, from the Chris Cyborg fight. She hit Chris with some big shots, kind of wobbled the legs a little bit. But in that exchange, she got overzealous and started chasing after, and she got caught herself. She's got to make sure that she doesn't do that against Leah McCourt.
And one of the changes that's been very noticeable with Sinead Kavanagh before and since the fight with Chris Cyborg is her physique, just how much she has changed her body, improved her conditioning, which speaks volumes of how serious she is.
You saw that leading into the Chris Cyborg fight. She had looked leaner and more slender. If you saw the highlights we were just looking at, okay, she had a different body frame. She has taken this up. I wouldn't say she's taking it more serious, but she has worked on making sure that she is the most fit she could possibly be for her next run at these titles.
All right, we'll talk about her opponent, Leah McCourt, in just a moment, but let's hear from her coach. This is KO Kavanagh's coach, another Kavanagh. It's the legendary John Kavanagh of SBG with Josh Denzel.
John, you must be the busiest man in the building. I don't think there's been a moment where you haven't been in the corner.
Yeah, I'm getting my steps in, running up and down these stairs.
How nice is it to see such a thriving stable that you've curated, performing out here in Ireland?
Yeah, it's huge, and to have them on such a great show as Bellator. And we had Lee Hammond was the first fight of the night, and you got an incredible pop. I don't know many shows where you have that many people in screaming from the first fight. We just had Dara Kelly on there before that again, an amazing pop from the crowd. So it's been a great night so far.
I've got to talk to you about the co-main event, your fighter. Tell me how it goes down and certain things you've been working on in camp. I know you know a lot about Leah, opponent. Sure. What can you do differently, I guess, to maybe add a little surprise and more pop from the crowd here in Dublin?
Yeah, I think Leah's aptly named the curse. She's been in the depths of, and she's snatched the victory from the jaws of a loss. But yeah, look, there's a few things we've seen in her stand-up that we hope to punish. We know she's very dangerous in the clinch and on the ground. She's got a great armbar, a great triangle. So, yeah, survived that first big effort in the first round. I think the longer it goes, the better it is for us.
So we're going to see a decision, we're going to see a KO?
Oh, I think it'll be KO, but probably in the second. Maybe the
There we go. Thanks very much. Appreciate it, John.
Always interesting to get the insights of John Kavanagh. He gave away some of the game plan perhaps there tonight. Certainly what they're hoping to expose with Leah McCourt. But to his credit, and indeed hers, he did reference how she comes through every obstacle that she's faced both outside and inside the Bellator cage.
Did you expect him to say something different? Like Sinead Kavanagh's his fighter. Did you expect him to say, oh no, we're just going to get taken down?
Well, it's always interesting to hear from a high-level coach when he tells us how we think we're going to get it done.
No, Leah McCourt, like I said, the way she wins this fight is by sticking and moving, using the length, the reach, all of those things together. I believe if she does that and makes Sinead Kavanagh rush in, get into the clinch, if she does that, I believe that Leah McCourt's going to have an easier chance of getting this fight to ground. She's got to utilize the judo. She's going to make Sinead Kavanagh make a mistake. If she can make Kavanagh make a mistake in terms of just jumping in on the striking, she's going to have a good chance of getting to the ground and trying to get this thing to the finish. But the thing is, people need to understand, Sinead Kavanagh's not the easiest fighter to get down. She's not the easiest fighter to submit. Those are all things that Leah McCourt's going to have to deal with when punches are coming at her head.
All right, two friends, now two opponents. They say there's no bad blood, but there will be blood spilled tonight.
There has been so much anticipation, so much talk, so many strong opinions. It's time to put them to the test as Sinead Kavanagh finally fights Leah McCourt. many who've watched her brief MMA journey, nights of triumph here at the Free Arena. That scare against Janae Harding and a London win against Jessica Borger. But tonight, she surely faces the biggest challenge of her career so far. Can she get this fight to the floor? Can she make those ground skills count? She knows all about adversity. She knows all about drive and desire. And she's going to need every single drop here tonight.
Well, she has got plenty of drive and desire. Look, she has improved so much in her stand-up. You watch her last fight against Jessica Borger. She did an outstanding job in the stand-up of landing a jab over and over and just dominating in the stand-up. But she's got to be smart enough to look at her opponent tonight and say, when I'm given the opportunity to take this to the ground, that's where I need to be.
And now, Sinead
Sinead Kavanagh got the chance that she'd been dreaming of as she fought Chris Cyborg for that world title. All that she wants is another shot at a fighter that she believes she can beat. First, though, she's going to have to win tonight, then probably win again, and then she might once again be in line. She's going to soak up this atmosphere, what she describes as the gladiator vibe. She'll try and ride the wave, and she'll look for the punch that will settle this and take her back to where she believes she belongs.
She definitely believes that she belongs in a championship match. And she had no fear going into that Chris Cyborg fight. That kind of worked against her because she was going after. And when you're in a gunfight, you can get hit, and she did. But this is a fight right here that she needs to win tonight. She has the ability on the feet to do damage. We'll see if she can do that.
So finally, it's Sinead Kavanagh against Leah McCourt. Here is the tale of the tape. And John, the ages of the respective fighters, there's 7 years between them.
And, you know, let's be honest, Sinead set the stage for women here in Ireland in MMA. Leah followed that, did everything she did. You can just see the age difference. Is it the person with the experience, or is it the young gun?
It is some story. Let's head to the cage to Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA now presents tonight's co-main event live on Showtime. 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 5'8", weighing in 145.8 pounds. Her professional record, 6 wins, 1 defeat out of Belfast, Northern Ireland, presenting Leah McCourt. And across the cage, her adversary out of the red corner at 5'7", weighing in 145.6 pounds. Just off her world title challenge as a professional. She stands with 7 victories, 5 losses out of Dublin, Ireland. Introducing Sinead Kavanagh. In charge, your referee, Kevin McDonald.
These are key moments.
Unified rules. We went over those in the back.
There is
a good, clean fight.
much respect.
Gloves, you can do it now. Best of luck. Return to your corner.
And now they put it on the line. He knows all about putting it on the line. Conor McGregor, an enthusiastic cheerleader here. It's been a real crossover fight. This everyone has been talking about it. Reached outside of the MMA world, even the combat sports world, and now they get it on. Leah McCourt in those blue gloves, Sinead Kavanagh in the red. McCourt wants this on the floor. Kavanagh wants it on the feet. Can Kavanagh land early? Can McCourt achieve a takedown?
You're going to see Leah try to keep this at range, try to keep Sinead back and frustrated so she makes that move inside that gets her into that clinch so she can go for the takedown. The question is, does Sinead bite? There you go.
She's got the takedown. Kavanagh says, of course, that she's not bad on the floor, and she's right, but this is very much Leah McCourt's territory.
Now look, Leah McCourt on the ground is very good. After her last win against Borges, she went right to Texas and entered into a jiu-jitsu competition, wins that. She's good on the ground. Very good positioning, very just the submissions that she'll pull off, strategically placed, gets her opponent to move, and takes what she wants. Right now, looking almost for a Kezakatami, trying to isolate that arm.
Kavanagh trying to escape at the moment.
Kavanagh trying to escape, but she's in the mount position, got it back to half guard.
This is an excellent start, almost a dream start for Leah McCourt.
This is exactly what Leah McCourt wanted in this fight. Don't get yourself in a bad position in the stand-up. Wait for that chance of the takedown, and when it comes, utilize everything you know to keep her there.
Sinead trying to apply pressure to the neck there. Trying to get herself off her back. There's the ground and pound from Leah McCourt.
Sinead's trying to utilize a knee shield inside, but her leg's not in the right position. McCourt is crushing it down. Looking for the Kimura again. Doesn't have her knee exactly where she wants to make that a good hold. Yeah, she went back to it.
This is really good thinking work from Leah McCourt.
Leah's doing a good job. She's getting her strikes in, but Sinead's able to stop and slow down Leah's attack based upon that Kimura hold. Now she's rolled her over. She should hold on to that. That's a good submission she's got.
Has she got it?
If she was able to take her left leg and isolate the head of Leah McCourt, that hold will definitely do damage.
McCourt bangs away at the body. Of course, the one thing no one was predicting was that Kavanagh would win it on the floor.
Nice job of Kavanagh to get her leg free. See how she's starting to step over the head?
Kavanagh's getting tight. Mark just had it here, looking for the Kimura. McCourt under massive pressure.
She needs to pull it up and out, bring it towards her hip.
She's got it there.
There you go. A lot of pressure there.
Defending desperately. Kavanagh turns it again. Cracks up the pressure. Huge drama here in round one. McCourt somehow is moving that body position.
Not good that she goes to her stomach, though. Sinead needs to keep her back up high. Bring it straight and bring that arm back towards her left hip.
She's hanging on to it desperately here. McCourt once again in serious adversity. She's escaped so many times against Ruiz, against Harding, but Kavanagh.
That is a lot of pressure. Now that's a good job of holding the head. Notice how she brought her lower leg under that head of Leah McCourt. She just needs to bring that arm up and out. Leah McCourt's got it back. But it definitely, that shoulder has been jacked based upon the pressure on it.
Kavanagh was so aware of the up kicks there. Oh, great right hand from Kavanagh. That rocked Leah McCourt all right. What an opening round here. Caught fire right from the start. Crowd are responding as well.
Stop! Clean break.
It just proves that sport makes fools of us all, John. No one was predicting that it would go that way. What a fight. What an opening round.
Yeah, when you looked at that, you're saying, well, where am I going to get the stand-up from? It's going to be Sinead Kavanagh. Nope, we're going to go for submissions. This is where Leah McCourt, nice job of trapping that leg. Outside trip, brings her down, but was unable to get herself in that position. And Sinead did a great job of isolating that arm with the Kimura grip. That's how McCourt gets that body lock position. Outside trip, brings her down. Beautifully done. But it was the Kimura grip that got Sinead Kavanagh in a position to actually have a submission hold that was very close. Look, Lee McCourt put up with a lot of pressure and pain in this. Finally got her hand to where she was able to grab her hand, control it, bring it back, get herself back to her feet. Great round for both ladies.
So round two. McCourt has taken some of Kavanagh's power. How demoralizing was it for Kavanagh to have come so close and not quite got the finish?
Definitely not demoralizing at all. You know, she wins the round based upon that possible submission she had. You got to give it to Leah McCourt as far as gutting it out. That was not comfortable. She just stayed with it the whole time, though.
Slip there from Kavanagh.
Might be something wrong with Sinead Kavanagh's right leg. It keeps on giving out on her. That's why she's going down. I don't know where she injured it, but there's definitely something. You can see her have a problem with her balance and base.
Leah McCourt will sense that. Looking to get into position to take Kavanagh down again here.
McCourt has very good judo, and she likes to utilize that. We're looking at as an overhook. She'll bring that leg across. She gets her toss. There she goes, looking for it again. Sinead's seen it many times in practice, so I'm sure she's used to it.
These are key moments. Key moments that will decide where this is for.
Has a nice clean left hand, left elbow up inside by Kavanagh.
It's been fought at a real pace as well. This will be a test of cardio.
Not a bad position for Lee McCourt when you're looking at it, because there's a lot of weight. She's hanging on the head of Sinead Kavanagh. That burns a lot of energy, and Sinead's not the person that's really looking for the takedown, and she's going for it now because she normally wants to be on her feet, but she might be in that position because I need to take her down. I need to utilize the ground.
McCourt is the one who gets the
beautiful follow through by Sinead on that. Nice takedown by McCourt. Sinead just rolled through it. That's how she came out on top.
And Sinead tries to unload. Court's done really well to get back to her feet there.
Leah McCourt really showing her grit. Never succumbing to any of the takedowns, never sitting there and accepting it, always working her way back to her feet. She's trying to return the favor with that Kimura grip.
She's looking to isolate here. McCourt can't complain. She certainly got the fight where she wanted it. In terms of the narrative, it's now a question if she can get it done on the floor.
Sinead Kavanagh, that was a big hammer fist. Look, she's got good position right now. Yep. Landing some big shots.
McCourt trying to cover up.
There it is. Her knee is gone. There's something wrong with her left knee.
Yeah, Kavanagh's in trouble, looking for the up kicks here. McCourt piles into the left knee. She's aware of it because she went for it again there. 20 seconds to go in round number 2 here, and Leah McCourt trying to find a way now. Not quite the fireworks of round 1, but the plot thickens, the plot develops. We try and look at those legs of Sinead Kavanagh. She's limping back to her team, but
you can see how that. Look at how her left knee just buckles. Okay, and as she's walking back after the first round, look at where she's grabbing. She grabs towards her knee. Something popped. Something happened. Watch this. This is the start of the second round. Look how the knee gives out. That left knee just gives out on her. It won't support her weight. She takes a step again, has no balance and base off of her front leg. That takes away all of her boxing ability. And then at the end of the round, take a look. Steps back, grabs the knee. She definitely has an injury with that left knee. She's going to try to cut her way through it.
And it's going to take guts. She has got guts. Her dreams are there in front of her.
Stay back behind the line.
She wants to get back to a fight against Chris Cyborg. She has to win here. How did you score the second round, John?
Second round, it goes to Sinead Kavanagh. There's no doubt about it. Court is down, in my opinion, 2 rounds. She needs to do something in this round to get the victory.
So McCourt needs something extra special, aware that Kavanagh is struggling so much. And look at this, she leg buckled under. She looked straight to her team. Leah McCourt knows exactly where to attack Kavanagh here. The question is, can Kavanagh get through this? She is in agony here.
She has no base to push off of to land a big shot. Her base is gone. That left leg won't hold any kind of pressure. So when she takes a step to try to land, even in the southpaw position here, she's got to push off that back leg. There's nothing there for her.
Every single one of these kicks from McCourt is like a dagger to the heart of Sinead Kavanagh. Big left hand from her. Where is she finding this? She knows that if she guts this out, there's every chance she'll get the decision.
Yeah, she's just got to work through the 5 minutes right now. This is not easy. She knows that her leg is gone. She knows she can't really bear any weight on it. But this right here is good for her in this position because she can use Leah as a base of balance, defense and everything. She doesn't have to have that leg for balance. Now she can use that fence, so this is good.
This is the most extraordinary display of heart here from Sinead Kavanagh.
So strange how fights just change a course and what someone, you know what they want to do, and an injury in the middle of the fight just changes everything. Nice job by Leah to get the fight down.
That clock is ticking. That will help Sinead Kavanagh. Not that she's thinking that at the moment.
Sinead is good enough on the ground to defend herself against, normal attacks. Leah's going to have to really use pressure to drive Sinead into a position. Or, let's be honest, she knows that that left leg is gone. She might want to attack it. I know it's not nice, but it is the sport.
Also going for that submission comes with risk, though.
Absolutely. Even right here, got that arm exposed. Yeah, has the ability to work that arm. Look at that left arm sticking out there. That is not good.
Exposed it. Could she do anything with it? Kavanagh is fighting for her career here.
She's getting out.
Two minutes to go. It's no exaggeration to say at the age of 36, on one leg, Sinead Kavanagh is fighting for her significant career.
No doubt about it, but she's trying to control the head of Lee McCourt. That's smart. That slows everything Leah can do, but she needs to be very, very careful of the Von Flue choke if she lets go of that leg.
90 seconds remain. Kavanagh in evident pain. It's etched all across her face, but still she fights. Still she looks to find a way.
McCourt really needs to figure out what she wants to go for here. She keeps on keeping her head off to the side. If you're going to keep your head there, then look towards that arm triangle choke. McCourt is not going to pound out Sinead. Sinead is too tough when it comes to taking strikes. She's got to go for a submission.
McCourt's made,
and you can see, what is she doing? She's going for that submission on that leg.
The one thing Kavanagh didn't want, McCourt looking for the submission here. 30 seconds remain. Kavanagh manages to escape. Now she can ground and pound. It takes another twist.
Sinead Kavanagh showing nothing but heart.
It is just astonishing. These athletes are extraordinary. What a display this has been from Sinead Kavanagh. She gets there. She gets to the end. How she did it, I'll never know. But was it enough to get the win? That, John, was something else.
Unbelievable heart by Sinead Kavanagh. You talk about just showing grit, determination. She was hurt. She knew it. No quit.
She's going to have to be carried out of here tonight, but is she going to be carried out as a winner? How did you score that final round, John?
Final round, I'm going to give to McCourt. She had the better grappling throughout the round, even though she took some shots at the end. But I have the win for Sinead Kavanagh, 29-28. This is where Leah goes. She looks for that ankle lock on that left leg. Leah keeps on trying to extend, push her legs out. Sinead has none of it. She collapses those legs, comes out on the top position, and just starts hammering her with the hammer fist. Big shots. Leah has to let go of that leg. Big time fight.
For a display of guts and glory, determination, not letting go of your dream. Unmatchable, just unmatchable. We don't know still if it was enough for Sinead Kavanagh. It was tight. You could certainly argue in terms of the scoring, but we can find out how they've scored it. They both look nervously at Michael C. Williams. They turn and they're going to find out. And here is Michael with the verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, in tonight's co-main event, we go now to the judges' scorecards. Judges Brian Miner and Eric Colon both see the fight the same, 29-28, while Judge Ben Cartledge scores the fight 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Sinead Kavanagh.
A smiling Conor McGregor, but the night belongs to Sinead Kavanagh. How did she do it? Well, we can hear from her sitting down. Of course she's sitting down with Big John McCarthy. Wow.
All right, I'm here with your winner, Sinead Kavanagh. Sinead, that was all heart. You got hurt in the first round. We could see your leg buckle. Even at the end of the round, you went and grabbed down at your knee. but you kept in there, you kept fighting, and you won a grappling exhibition when you're normally known as a striker. How bad is the knee?
The knee went on the 4 seconds. I don't know what happened. It just buckled, and then I couldn't even stand up and punch, like, so I had to go into the dogfight. You know, I went to the dogfight, and I told you I'm a good at the ground game.
Well, you definitely proved yourself in the ground game. We could see that you had no balance, no base to push off of to deliver power with your hands. How frustrating was that for you?
I thought this is it. Like, this is not a bad look. I have decision. Like, I thought I was finished. I thought I couldn't go on, but I just grind my teeth and just took it and just got the win at the end of the day. A pure Irish heart, a fighting heart. That's what I have.
No doubt about the fighting heart. That it was nothing but blood and guts. Congratulations on a big, big win. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sinead Kavanagh.
Just an inspiration. It's her night in Dublin. She still looks like she can't quite believe it, but she hung on. She got the win. What a performance. Wonder what the guys at the desk made of it.
What a fight, what a night. It had everyone on their feet in the 3 arena, including Josh Thompson. It had everything.
Yeah, she's built different. A lot of that is a lot of true grit that comes out of that, but there's just a lot of heart and determination knowing that she's one step away from getting another title shot. And like Big John was saying, at 36 years old, what are you going to do? You need to get through this, and she did. She gritted it down. Look, I know a lot of professional athletes. They get paid a lot of money. After they get poked in the eye, they leave the game. Okay? A lot of football players, you know. She gritted through it, an absolute great performance.
Well, K.O. Kavanagh is cut from a special cloth, and there is her teammate and friend carrying her through this crowd in Dublin tonight. There is your winner tonight being carried through the crowd, and I can bring you some breaking news here in Dublin tonight. Just confirmed, President of Bellator MMA, Scott Coker, has just confirmed that Sinead K.O. Kavanagh will fight once again against Chris Cyborg for the title very soon. She's going to have to get that leg fixed pretty soon, Josh.
Yeah. Let's get it checked out, see what happens. Hopefully it's a quick recovery. Who knows?
That is the big news for Sinead Kavanagh, as well as the big win tonight against her former training partner and indeed friend Leah McCourt. But now, from 2 friends in MMA to 2 eras of MMA which are set to collide as the defending middleweight champion Gegard Mousasi takes on the undefeated Austin Vanderford. Mousasi will make the walk to this cage in Dublin for the 58th time in his professional career. And you know what? He doesn't plan on hanging him up anytime soon, and here's why.
My brother, when he was looking for a house, he looked for a house where we all could live together, and we have that now. This is where I live with my mother, and my brother lives here next with his family. Oh, I have 5 bedrooms here. I have 4 bedrooms in this house, and we have another, this is a separate house when we have family or friends coming. It's a nice way to live. My goal with my brother was always to have a better life. It's not like we're rocket scientists, you know. Usually you fight for a better life. That's usually what people fight for. You don't see a guy who's a rich kid coming and then becomes a world champ. The thing is with MMA, at the end of your career, you make the most money because you build up a name. First fight that I got paid was 500 euro. I was happy. Now I spend 500 maybe in a day. Whatever I make, I have to make triple because I have a Rolex, my sister has a Rolex, my mother has 2 Rolexes, my brother has a Rolex, my cousin has a Rolex. It's not 1 Rolex, I have to buy 10 Rolexes. So it's different. You need more money. Well, me and my brother bought our first house when I was 20, and these are some of the real estate that we bought. So it's after fighting, that's my pension. This is the first one we bought. Later on, we bought also this one. We used to work as a bouncer, and the bank wouldn't loan us. So the owner of the cafe, it was his building. He trusted us to pay him later. But now the bank are nice to us. There's always new guys, upcoming guys, young guys, and I'm the old guys. And everyone wants to fight for the belt, so I know they're gunning for me, but you know, I just look at the guy that's in front of me. Austin Vanderford is a young upcoming guy. He's 11-0, he's undefeated, hungry, confident. Definitely a guy I have to take serious. Well, he's a wrestler, he will, you know, he's gonna take me down, he's just gonna try to hold me and ground and pound, but I'm not easy to be ground pounded. I feel like I can do a lot more damage than he will. I think my ground and pound is much better. I feel like I'm more heavy-handed. I'm no doubt that I'm gonna win. I'm still at my best. I don't take a lot of damage. I'm still on the top. Other than this, I don't know anything else. So it's like hate and love. Who loves cutting weight, fighting men in a cage? It's the achievement. Everything else I hate it, but the achievement, once you capture it, it's gold.
Well, his honesty is refreshing, and his generosity is pretty incredible. 10 Rolexes, and Mrs. Mousasi gets 2, and that's very important.
I want to be added to the Rolex list. Can I get on that Christmas list?
I think you're not even on his Christmas card list, Josh, because Gegard Mousasi is a cool, relaxed dude, but he's a bit of an issue with you because of something you said on your podcast weighing in with Big John this week. Do you want to address that now?
Well, all I said was he has to be motivated. And if he's a motivated fighter, he's probably one of the most dangerous fighters in the world. Sometimes he comes in not extremely motivated. But when he is a motivated fighter, you see him just dismantle people. Him against Douglas Lima. He seemed like he was motivated, but he fought that fight in sections. Okay, I'm gonna win this round, I'm gonna win this round. Okay, I'm gonna take this round off, I'm gonna win this round. He dominated the fight from beginning to end. But then when you saw a really motivated Gegard was against John Salter. He just walked John Salter down, just dismantled everything John Salter did, got to the top position, and just laid down the ground and pound. People underestimate how strong he is based off of like the way he looks. And I even talked to him this week. We did talk to him. He said, yeah, because I'm tall, I'm skinny. He's got heavy hips, he's got vicious ground and pound, and he's got probably some of the best ground and pound in the business.
All right, let's talk about his opponent. Good apology, by the way. I think that was an apology. His opponent
I'm sorry, Gegard, I'm sorry.
I don't buy it. His opponent, like John Salter, is a All-American wrestler. But where does Austin Vanderford differ perhaps to Salter, and where will he be more dangerous tonight for Gegard Mousasi?
Well, he's faster, he's more explosive than John Salter. Okay, the wrestling pedigree, I would say they're probably about mutual. But with Austin Vanderford, he's a little bit shorter in stature, and he is explosive, and he's very good on the top position, ground and pound, as well as submission attempts. He will get, when he gets locked in on that arm and triangle, he can't finish. But when you compare him to John Salter, just the speed and the explosiveness is definitely the factor. So Gegard's gonna have to deal with that. In the fight against John Salter with Gegard was okay with letting him get in on certain things and then defending it. With Austin Vanderford, he's going to be so explosive that he's going to get in so deep that Gegard's going to have to worry about defending that takedown first before anything else. On top of that, as soon as he gets in deep, he's got to be careful because he is shorter in stature. That overhand right, it doesn't seem like you're going to throw it, but it gets there fast and it gets there explosive. So that's one thing Gegard's got to be careful for on those shots, not to drop his hands too soon, get hit with the overhand, and then still get taken down.
All right, questions to be answered here in Dublin tonight in our middleweight world title fight. Let's see who can deliver in Dublin.
Many questions to be answered. What a night we've had to this point, all building to this. Time for the legend against the man who'd be middleweight king. Time for our main event.
Here we go! Austin Vanderford. He's the one in control of the pace. He's the one in control of the position with a ground and pound style that is just relentless. Big takedown for Vanderford. Nice takedown. Trying to lock it in. He's got a lot of pressure. He is a strong kid. And then it's all over.
Still undefeated, the gentleman, Austin Vanderford.
But tonight, it's all about Gegard Mousasi, the Bellator MMA middleweight champion.
He can fight with anybody, anywhere.
He's conquered almost every promotion he has competed in.
He is
is a complete fighter.
Mousasi ground and pound. Mousasi maintains the Bellator MMA middleweight championship.
And now, the challenger set to make his way, the gentleman. Two-time Bellator middleweight world champion, Gegard Mousasi.
Where it began, I can't begin.
Well, for Gegard Mousasi, it's professional fight number 58. He says he's never felt better. He's 36 years of age now. There are still stories to be written, stories to be told for Bellator's middleweight champion. Retaining this title, a move to light heavyweight, a need to always be improving, always be performing. In April, it'll be 19 years since Mousasi's professional debut. And this is a man who's never stopped getting better, who's now won 11 of his last 12, and who, for all the talk of Vanderford, John, starts tonight as a strong favorite for many, many reasons.
Look, I will tell you right now, Gegard Mousasi is one of the best fighters to have ever placed on a pair of MMA gloves. This guy is remarkable when we talk about his ground, his stand-up, his overall game is just unbelievable. But he needs to be motivated, because when he's not, then he's average. But when he is motivated, he is dynamically good. Vanderford is hoping that he's not motivated, but I think he is.
And if ever the phrase appearances can be deceptive was relevant, it's Gegard Mousasi. If you're watching him at home for the first time, if you're new to this wonderful world of MMA, these extraordinary people, do not be fooled. This man is just outstanding. He is one of the best ever.
I talk about it all the time. There's the guys out there that most people would look at and go, he's nothing. He's a nerd assassin, I'm telling you. His keys to victory is eat him up on the feet. You are more technical, you are better. You're faster with your hands on the feet. Keep it there. Do not settle in the bottom position. If he takes you down, make him work hard to keep you there.
That's our build-up. This is theirs. The tail of the tape then for the middleweight world championship. Look no further at all than those records.
It's all about that record. Look at Austin Vanderford has been perfect up to this point, 11-0. But look at the experience of Gegard Mousasi, 48-7-2. Remarkable MMA career.
Let's get now to Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on Showtime from 3 Arena. The time has come here in Dublin for the main event of the evening. 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Middleweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation. Chairman James Gessner, supervising at cage side, Mike Mazzulli. And now, introducing the blue corner. At 5'11", weighing in 183.7 pounds. In his first world title fight, he enters with an undefeated professional record of 11-0. From Ninilchik, Alaska, he fights out of Coconut Creek, Florida. Introducing the challenger, the gentleman, Austin Vanderford. Across the cage, the champion fights out of the red corner at 6'2", weighing in 184.6 pounds. Tonight, in his second defense of his second reign as Bellator champion, he brings a prolific professional record, including an incredible 48 victories, along with 7 defeats and 2 draws. Fighting out of Amsterdam, Netherlands, ladies and gentlemen, the defending Bellator middleweight world champion, Mousasi. In charge of the action, your referee, Kerry Henry.
Here we go, gentlemen. All right, gentlemen, Bellator middleweight championship of the world.
calm before the considerable storm.
Obey my commands at all times and obey those rules we went over in the dressing room at all times. Fight hard, touch them up if you're going to. Let's go to work.
That's what they're fighting for. Glorious belt on the line. Mousasi, the champion in those red gloves, against the man who is desperate for the title, who thinks it's his destiny. Austin Vanderford. And we're underway. Remember, 5-minute rounds for the title. Right hand there from Vanderford.
Snuck through the guard. See Austin trying to use a lot of feints right there, trying to get Mousasi to just give a movement, give a tell.
That was a short right hand, and he followed it up, Mousasi.
That was a solid right hand. That stung Austin. He felt that. Austin swinging hard there, needs to collect himself.
Just a little danger there. Vanderford getting sucked in straight away to Mousasi's spine.
See, in this right here, just take a look at the stance of Mousasi. He's very square because he's looking to stop the takedown of Austin Vanderford. So that's an advantage for Vanderford. But right now, Mousasi's the one landing the bigger shots in the stand-up.
There's that jab, left hook from Mousasi. And Vanderford was hurt early. The legs were unsteady. Looks for the takedown. This is Rory McDonald all over again. Round and round from Mousasi. And the lead. It's over. It's over. The dream catcher takes away someone else's dream. Mousasi, this astonishing athlete, one of the greatest, does it again when it matters.
You got a young stud like Austin Vanderford there. Strong, powerful, fast. You saw Mousasi got hit one time and then systematically just started picking it apart, hitting him with the bigger shots, and then going after him once he knew he hurt him. Look, Gegard is a beast. He may not look it. He may not even comb his hair. But God dang, that man can fight.
Salutes the crowd. Makes it look so easy, so effortless. And talk about making the right decision every single time.
Yeah, why Austin goes out, but he gets hit with a combo there and then another. And you can see, look at the legs. He got stunned. And Gegard just starts to hunt him down. He knows he's going to go for the shot, goes for the uppercut, and then just starts opening him up Look at big shots. Those are heavy hammer fists. Goes under it. Austin's in no position to defend himself. He's just waiting for the referee to stop it. Again, watch. Boom, right there off the top of the forehead and then the left. That's, you see him buckle. This is just experience. Notice how he doesn't rush in. Notice how he doesn't crush that space. He just waits. Austin shoots. Good sprawl, and then just damaging shots.
He makes it look ridiculously easy, but it is the culmination of so much hard work, just so much skill, perfect decision-making. And this can happen in this sport. Vanderford made a mistake and was made to pay by one of the best ever. Nothing for him to be ashamed of, and he will come again. Not too many were predicting that he'd do it that early, but many were predicting that he would do it. They'll line up, and let's make it official with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end. 1 minute, 25 seconds into round number 1 by TKO. He is still Bellator middleweight world champion, Mousasi.
Mousasi does it, has the class to console Vanderford, and let's hear now from the champion with John McCarthy.
I have to say first one thing. This fight is for my friend Grigor, who's watching. I love you up there. And for Eve, my friends still love you, so come back. Don't be a party pooper. And to the Irish crowd, I love you. You're the best. And for the people that traveled to see me, I love you. I love you all. Thank you. And what else?
Nothing else. We're done. Come here, man. Look, that fight, you started off. You got hit with a shot. Just touched you a little bit. Kind of got you to the point where then you took it serious. You started lighting him up with shots. When you heard him, did you know, oh, this is my chance to finish him fast?
Well, I was taking my time. I knew I hurt him, but I'm the best middleweight. I never said that because I never believed it. But from now on, you better believe it.
Austin came in here with an undefeated record, had a lot of confidence. He's a big, fast, strong, tough guy. You just systematically keep breaking guys down, just taking them apart. What is it in your career that has made you so special?
Baby Jesus is in my life, and from now on, I'm gonna destroy some people.
You're sitting at the top. You've always got the target on your back. Who is it that you believe deserves the shot at you in this cage?
Oh, I don't know. I'm good. I'm confident. I'm at my best ever. Physically, I'm telling you, I'm the best, and they're gonna know from now, you know? I've never been so confident in my life.
I just wanted to, beautiful performance. You are still the man, still the champ. Give it up for Gegard Mousasi.
He is the best, make no mistake. He's never felt better, and now he does announce that there is no middleweight better. What a night for him. What a night of triumph for Gegard Mousasi. I wonder what Josh and Aiden made of it.
Truly incredible performance from an already legendary pound-for-pound great. Is it possible that he can go up any more in your estimation, Josh Thompson?
First, I want to say, Gegard, don't ever give me any headaches about me talking about your cardio if you're going to get it done in the first round. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it at all. Just absolute great performance.
Are you taking some credit for his motivation tonight?
I thought he did a wonderful job. He did exactly what we know he is capable of. Big John and I have been following him for years. We used to fight on the same cards in Strikeforce. I've known him for over 15 years. He is a phenomenal fighter. Like I said, it's the motivation factor. And he says, and he tells people that he's motivated. He's never said that he's the greatest middleweight of all time or he's the best middleweight because he didn't believe it. Guess what? At this age, he understands his fight IQ is the highest, his performance, and all he's got to do, it all relies on him, and he knows that. And so for him to do what he did tonight was absolutely spectacular.
Boy, most people would find it hard to be humble when they are just that great. He is closing in on win number 50 in his illustrious professional career, and he gets it done tonight. His 28th win by TKO. Many had him as the favorite for this fight, but not many expected he'd get it done that quick.
Well, it's hard not to say that he wouldn't get it done, but like I said, it has to do with the motivation factor. But it's also harder to beat someone who's undefeated because they come in with a little extra oomph. Because they're undefeated, they never tasted defeat in Austin Vanderford. Never tasted defeat. He didn't know what it was like to lose in that cage. Well, he found out tonight.
Well, when you talk about experience, and that comes with the MMA toolbox, it feels like Gegard Mousasi can pull up in a pickup truck full of tools to get it done any which way.
Yeah, he's not a construction worker that just shows up with his hammer. Okay, he brings his whole box. And when he does, whoever he's fighting is in a lot of trouble. And he showed that tonight. He was calm, composed, which he normally is. I don't think his heart rate ever gets past 70 inside the cage. But when it came down to tonight, like I said, with Austin Vanderford being undefeated, so much hype around him, so much talk about he has the pedigree to go ahead and beat the rest of the pedigree, the power, the explosiveness to beat Gegard Mousasi. Gegard said, not yet, not my time. Right now is my time to be successful, and that's what he did tonight.
And another time will be, of course, for Austin Vanderford, who will return.
I want people to put some respect on this man's name. It really comes down to that. I think a lot of people have kind of overlooked him because he's not the person that sits on social media and blows himself up. Tonight was the first time he's ever said that he was the best middleweight in the world. Think about that. 58, 59 fights. And look how successful he has been. He's never had to toot his own horn. But now people need to start putting respect on the name. He is phenomenal, phenomenal fighter. One of the best to ever step foot in that cage.
And we have a very exciting and explosive middleweight division in Bellator at the moment. It'll be intriguing to see what Gegard Mousasi, the champion, does next. But here is where we are headed to next. The Bellator MMA cage will be in the Family Arena in St. Louis, Missouri, where top featherweight contenders Adam Boric and Mads Burnell will vie for the #1 ranking in a 5-round main event. That's our main event, but top to bottom, it's stacked Josh Thompson. What are you liking about that?
I love everything about this card. Johnny Eblen, undefeated, comes from ATT as well. That should be a great fight against John Salter.
All right, well, if you miss anything of Bellator 275 from Dublin, no worries. Just check your listings for encore plays of Bellator MMA on Showtime and Showtime Extra. Well, once again, another historic night is in the books here in Dublin. That is Bellator 275. Thanks from Josh Thompson and myself, Aidan Power. Let's hand it down to Dave Farrer one final time.
We always knew it was going to be some night, some special night at the 3 Arena. We started with Brian Moore, cheered on by Conor McGregor, but Jornell Lugo got the win by unanimous decision. Then it was the dominance of Hassan Magomedsharipov. Far too much for Jose Sanchez. Boy, was he impressive. Kieran Clark soaked up the crowd, was under pressure in the only round of the fight, as it turned out, because Abu Tounkara popped his shoulder. Clark got the win, and then we had the astonishing Sinead Kavanagh. Her knee was gone early. She nearly found that Kimura. Somehow she found the spirit to hold on to the win, and she was carried out of the arena. The epitome of this sport, as is Gegard Mousasi, up against the upstart Vanderford. In the end, Bellator 275 belonged to the Dreamcatcher.